what's happened to your sunshine?
Bloody Yobs, Grandad. They threw a firework at me.
Yeah. There's only one thing to do when you receive a burn like that then, and that's piss all over it. We used to do it all the time in the brigade.
Grandad, this is your cure for whooping cough and nightmares. You get off on this.
We can't let the bully boys win then. We've got to fight against them. Why do they do it?
Because of that time you cuddled that lady in the chemist and broke her glasses. You made us a target.
People should encourage love at first sight. Here we go. Suck that up.
Ah, it stings me.
Grandad, make it better. Good boy, yeah. There you go.
Oh, it smells of dog's basket.
That burn's gonna be gone, baby. Yeah.
Grandad!
Then, let's not go out anymore.
Is it right that a teenager and his granddad are so petrified of yahoos that they sit at home all day, tiddling over each other? Yobs have tyrannised us, and I got issues with that.
You got the world, boys, the song you make it. You have the choice now, you want to take the oldest charge. Only the best for you. And the years of my life someday were so good, but now and again I was a coward. The holes in my soul be tattered for all these tears. Well, I don't see it that way, away, what happened today?
Turning up, I'm so glad that you're here. It's such an important show. What, darling?
Show us your ball bag.
Right, this young man has asked to see my ball bags. Because it is live television, I actually am obliged to do it. I'm not obliged to show you my ball bags, although, you know, thank you for the mention. I'm glad you remembered. Today we are talking about Yobs! I really like the way, I'm glad you've had such a strong reaction to Yobs. I love the way that Yobs are talked about in tabloid newspapers. Yobs! Yobs! The christening was interrupted! Yobs! A hedgerow was damaged! Yobs! Yeah, tabloid newspapers talk about Yobs as if they were a centrally orchestrated organisation with a motto and like a special handshake. They're not. There is no Yob hierarchy. They're not organised like Freemasons or Sea Cadets. Yobs will respond very negatively to a hierarchical structure, right? If this was a Yob conference, and I'm beginning to think that it might be, right? If it were, and I was the keynote Yob speaker, I'd be like, please, I must have order. Hold on, put that cat down. Don't hold. Jesus Christ. Right, would the delegate from Basildon, I'd like you to just go to KFC, do a bit of gobbing. Right, I want you there, yeah, you son. I want you to go down to the park, just get hold of some swings and set the seats on fire, yeah, the mouldy glass and And you, I want you to go to Blue Water with your hood up, just that sort of menacing, right? And the thing, you can't have that, you cannot legislate for yobbery, right? And I'm sort of terrified and intrigued by Yobs. I think because of that thing that there's people who are completely comfortable with violence, who actually enjoy it, and you could meet one at any time and you might accidentally get into a confrontation with them, right? Say something, you know when you feel a little bit brave, right? Say something like you open a door for someone in a shop, right? Go, oh yeah, please. And then they don't say thank you, and you've got a little bit of irritation, and it might accidentally be one of those people that is like comfortable with violence, where, oh, I just opened that door for you, and they don't say thank you. You go, oh, thank you very much, good manners cost nothing. It might be someone who's comfortable with violence. Yeah, come on in! Oh, no! Sorry! Jesus Christ! You know those people that know all the words for violence? Come in, you muppet! Yeah? Yeah, come on, I'll stripe you! I don't even know what that means. Please don't stripe me. I don't think I could tolerate a striping. Also, with Yobs, you can't reason with them, you can't talk to them. Like, if you were being, like, gored by a Bengali tiger, you can't sort of go, oh, don't do that, mate, I've got a mortgage. So you just have to tolerate being gored. Tonight's question is, of course, Yobs, is it time to fight back? That's what we're debating. Andrew Zod is here. He's General Zod's nephew. He's gauging the debate. He's the galaxy's most hostile bachelor. You probably know quite a lot about Yobs, don't you, Andrew Zod?
No, that's actually my uncle.
Oh, right, so yeah, I suppose General Zod was... I think, like, you suffer from the same problems, really, of a bad familial association that Archie Hitler suffered with for a lot of time. Archie Hitler, actually quite a nice lad. his uncle was a right bastard. You've heard my views on Yobs, right, but don't take me too seriously, because once, in a fight situation, I actually did this. I hissed like a goose, like that, and as fighting talk went, yeah, come on in. All right, princess, do you want to dance around my garden? Yeah? Here's some proper information. Écoutez.
Yobs, they are here. According to the Home Office, there has been a tenfold increase in violent crime since 1979. Antisocial behaviour is the root of much misery in Britain's cities and towns, affecting everyone from the panting ninny encircled by the wretched underclass in the underpass to the noble woodcutter, undisputed king of the forest. On the show tonight will be this brute, and this poor misunderstood little cupcake. Yobs, we're here, we're queer, get used to it.
Blimey, them's Yobs. There's some information about Yobs. And if we're going to have a debate about Yobs, how can we confidently go forward until we've introduced Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen, right? Because he is, after all, a man who goes around people's houses, throws paint around and makes them cry. If that isn't the behaviour of a Yob, I don't know what is. Shall we welcome him? It's Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen. Here he is. Be seated.
Thank you.
Right, so what I've failed, neglected to notice is that you're actually quite imposingly attractive as a man.
You're very kind, but quite right there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, very well done.
Dapper you look. Do you know, right, before my haircut was minutely adjusted to look a bit more stupid, I was constantly mistaken for you.
Really?
Yeah, awful lot. I'm like, sort of, like,
But how does that work? There's such a length of you.
Well,
I mean, the difference is obvious.
Well, thank you for mentioning that. But my length ain't apparent when I'm in the back of a cab.
Well, no, that's true.
It's been a very, very intimate journey.
Do you know how I was mistaken for the bloke from Robin's Nest today? What was it? Man
Richard
About the
Sullivan?
House. I know, and I was just, you know, saying, well, I'd be
He's
80.
in his 60s,
well, exactly.
at the very least, now.
Either that or I'd be a ghost.
Yeah, that's insulting.
I thought that was quite retro.
You shouldn't be forced to tolerate that sort of behaviour.
Out in public.
Have you ever been mistook for me in a situation? Has anyone gone, you're that geezer off Big Mouth? I'm assuming it would be
Oddly, Mrs. Llewellyn-Bowen often whines Russell at various moments.
During intercourse?
Sometimes we're not
Oh,
talking.
because when she's with me, she always says Lauren.
Yeah, I
At
know,
least she's balanced.
Exactly.
Right, so we've got to answer this question. Yobs, is it
Yeah.
time to fight back, right? You've, like, said a lot of things about Yobs and stuff. You said, like, Yobs should get rid of their Asbo wardrobes and self-harm hair. You take a hard stance on Yobs. You've written a book all about etiquette, and that's, you know, decorum, how people should behave, haven't you?
Very much so, because I think that actually posh, because that's what the whole book is about, pinch of posh. Posh is the new chav. That for too long we've been encouraged to do it badly. Actually, it's time we stood up and suggested that you should do it well, you should do it poshly.
Yeah, but what if, right, you spent your whole life sort of just eating chicken nuggets and fags? Like, it's too much to ask people to then just, like, groom themselves into a state
You
where they
see,
can
I
become
disagree, and
posh.
actually chicken nuggets and fags are quite delicious under the right kind of combination. But it's because it's all down to self-esteem. It's all down to an ability to project who you are and to feel good about who you are. When you see people walking down the street and they're, you know, eating burgers and pasties and they're, you know, obviously very, very badly washed,
Yeah.
you know that they are not happy about who they are.
This is an important point, actually, that you raised, Lawrence. You said that snobs and snooty people aren't necessarily posh. They're the worst of all. Posh people, they don't wash, you said.
Exactly. The whole point about posh is that it's not about class, it's not about money,
Right.
it's about being glamorous on the inside.
OK, glamorous on the inside, but you said that royalty are not necessarily posh and are not necessarily clean. Are you, by implication, saying that Her Majesty the Queen might have an unclean vagina?
No. No. In fact, I can, because of course we've all seen her Tupperware, so we know for a fact that I think she's extraordinarily well-groomed.
I imagine that she's in lovely nick down there.
She's very shiny.
You once got turned over by posh burglars, Lawrence.
Yes.
That does sound like you got bummed by a gentleman thief in
Raffles.
Raffles.
He left his glove. Yes, it was marvellous. No, they took my William Morris dining chairs, which I thought showed consummate taste. They left the DVD player and the Bang & Olufsen and all that kind of rubbish which you can replace.
So you had stylish, posh burglars coming around?
Absolutely, absolutely. We were upstairs with a handful of spaniels. I mean, why they didn't wake us up, I've no idea.
What were you doing? Why were you judging the spaniels by a handful? What were you doing with
Well, I
them?
was going to say fistful, but I thought it'd be a red rag to a bull with
really
you.
would have
yeah,
done,
it would have
yeah.